From across the nation and around the world, for Pacifica Headlines, I'm Jesse Lent. A bookseller in Puchena Book Market weeps as emergency crews attempt to control a blaze after a Russian attack on Kyiv yesterday sparked fires across the Ukrainian capital, local authorities told the Kyiv Independent. Footage and reporting courtesy of Reuters. The attack also reportedly killed 2 people at a Kyiv steel plant and injured 3 people. According to the news outlet Sospilna, the fire at the book market, once one of Ukraine's largest, destroyed several rows of market stalls along with books and vendors' property and damaged the entrance to the nearby metro station and retail outlets. According to Reuters, Ukraine launched a heavy drone attack on the Moscow region that killed 1 person and ignited a warehouse used by Russia's leading e-commerce retailer. Romania, which borders on Ukraine, said an F-18 fighter on a NATO air policing mission had shot down a drone attack that breached its airspace during the latest attacks. It did not specify the origin of the drone, which entered from Moldova, but a NATO spokesperson said it appeared to be Russian. The Memorandum of Understanding, signed 2 months ago by the U.S. and Iran, is set to expire today. We have not yet made a decision to restart negotiations with the United States, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi wrote in a post on Telegram on Saturday. Brigadier General Yadollah Yavani, a senior commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, told state media that his country is poised to shift their military strategy from a defensive posture to an offensive one, warning their enemies to, quote, anticipate strategic surprises. President Donald Trump had announced the so-called Memorandum of Understanding between the two countries with great fanfare 2 months ago, but the short-lived agreement failed to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran effectively blockaded after the U.S. and Israel's joint war on Iran began on February 28th, or end a conflict that is now in its 6th month. As reported in the New York Times, both President Trump and top Iranian officials have said in recent weeks that the deal is off. During a speech at a police academy on Long Island, New York on Friday, Trump said that, quote, pretty soon he would designate the Strait of Hormuz a critical choke point for global trade through which roughly 20% of the world's seaborne oil supply passed before the war, a U.S. territory, according to The Guardian. Israel's Minister of National Security, Itamar Ben-Gvir, told former Israeli hostage Ram Brzlavsky that he believes 30 to 40 people should be killed in Gaza each night in comments that surfaced yesterday and were quickly shared by Palestinian media, according to the AP. Ben-Gvir and Brzlavsky, who was reportedly kidnapped by the paramilitary group the Palestinian Islamic Jihad when he was a security guard at the Nova Music Festival during Hamas's October 7, 2023 attacks in Gaza, which reportedly killed nearly 1,200 Israeli residents, when Ben-Gvir criticized Israel's recent drawdown of strikes in Gaza. It's no secret I disagree with the prime minister, Ben-Gvir said. I think targeted assassinations should be carried out in Gaza, taking down 30 to 40 every night. Not just those who pose an immediate threat. There are people there who are not worthy of life. They shouldn't live. They're not even people, end quote. More than 73,000 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza in the Israeli bombing campaign that has followed since then, including 21,280 children, according to the territory's health ministry. The UN estimates that roughly 1.9 million people, 90% of Gaza's population, have been displaced since the war ended. The BBC reports that President Trump's Middle East envoy and son-in-law Jared Kushner has arrived in Israel, where he is expected to meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu later today. And newly sworn-in Attorney General Todd Blanche refused to say yesterday that he would always act independently of White House control and claimed that President Trump has, quote, never demanded he prosecute specific people in an interview on NBC's Meet the Press.
There's a big difference between saying we will always do our job and investigate any case and act independently of the White House. No, I'm not going to pledge that, and no attorney general should ever pledge that.
Those are the latest Pacifica headlines. For the Pacifica Network, I'm Jesse Lent.